Now what we're going to do, the background has magically disappeared here, but it's still a layer over here. What I want to do is duplicate that layer because I want 2 layers of text, and I'm going to do 2 different things with them. So if I take my mouse and I just click on the 3 little dots, and then down here you see these different options. Here is the duplicate layer, so I'm just going to click that, and then hopefully it should duplicate exactly the same layer of text. As you can see now, we've got 2 different layers which are exactly the same. So what I can do now with my arrange tool is I can move around this duplicated layer and make a sort of double shadow. So now what I want to do, I've got my 2 layers of text overlapping each other. So I've got this K kind of shape here, and I've got this K shape here, which I quite like that as a diagonal. And now the last thing that I'm going to do is create a gradient overlay on this top layer. So what I need to do is select my top layer, and then I'm going to use this gradient tool over here. So I'm going to select that, and then up at the top we should get some menus of different types of gradients that we can put on the lettering. So the first thing I want to do with the gradient tool is just show you these toolbars at the top. I'm going to use a linear gradient, which is like a line. If you were choosing radial, it would spread out from a centre like a circle. I want to change down the opacity because I don't want it to be a really thick gradient. I want to see some of my image below. So I'm going to change that down to 80%. Okay, well, roughly 80%. I also want to change these blend modes, so I want to change the kind of look of the layer. So I'm going to put it on colour burn and change that. And then up here I've got all sorts of different gradient options that I can choose. So if you just click on this black and white tonal gradient, there's quite a lot of presets. You can do your own as well, but I'm going to choose probably this purple one because purple is opposite to orange. If you wanted to change the colours of your gradient, you would just double click into these squares here and here, and you can change the colours into whatever gradient you'd like. Okay, so now I'm ready. So all I need to do now is draw a line where I want the gradient to go. So I think I'm going to draw a diagonal line. So I want it to come across my image like that. And let go, and then press enter.